Hiya folks, I'm Grim and welcome to Grim Grooves. Today we'll be checking out The Promise by Superfruit, featuring Rippon, who I'm not really familiar with, but I can't wait to check this out. This was, I think, the most requested song from my last Superfruit video, and that one was phenomenal. I play it all the time still. It's just such a great song, so I can't wait to listen to more from them. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, because I got so much more to do from Superfruit, so much more Pentatonix, as well as so many other artists, both a cappella and otherwise. So if you'd like to see more like that, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And if you'd like to support me in any way or request songs of your own, you can request it on my Patreon. But without further ado, let's check out The Promise by Superfruit. That piano melody is like one or two notes off from being the like Nintendo Wii Shop theme, like ba 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 ba. I don't know. It makes me think of that. Sorry, I'll get back to it.
If you need a friend,
Ooh, wow.
don't look to a stranger. You know in the end,
Damn.
I'll always be there.
They're
But
harmonies.
when you're in doubt,
Nice.
and when you're in danger, take a look all around, and I'll be there.
Man, just a Mitch-led harmony is always so fantastic because Mitch's voice is just so clear, so crisp, and so beautiful. And with Scott's voice just kind of adding a bit of bass tone to that, it just sounds incredible. And the beginning of this song is really interesting too. Like, it's fairly basic in terms of melodies. We have this kind of just simple drum beat, kind of synth drum beat, and a little bit of a synth melody just coming in and out so far, and that fantastic piano melody. And I'm curious to see where we're going to go from here, because it feels very 80s, and I'm always a big fan of the 80s.
And I'll be there.
So that mullet's awesome.
I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking of the right words to say. I know they don't sound the way I planned them to be. But if you wait around a while, I'll make you fall for me. I promise you I will. When your day is through, and so is your temper.
Ooh. This is definitely a much more meaningful, much more beautiful song than the last one I did. I mean, Guy.exe is a fantastic song, but it's very jokey too. Like, it seems like there was maybe some like Weird Al influences and stuff, which again, I have no problem with. I love kind of comedy music and Weird Al for that matter. But it's just really interesting how different in themes and feeling this is. Like, it's so much more emotional and so much more impactful. Like, even the 80s vibe of it, it's very peaceful, very kind of synth pop 80s. But it's definitely one of the more emotional, like, it's not necessarily like disco or anything like that. It's very much more like just emotional kind of, I don't know, synth pop, I guess I could say.
And so is your temper.
Must be Rippon.
What to do. I'm gonna always be there.
Ooh, nice.
Sometimes if I shout,
Ooh.
it's not what's intended. These words just come out with no cry to bear.
That vocalization there with the kind of synth backdrop echoing the vocalization in like a synth modified element, like, it's really, really good. And also, I was trying to piece it. I feel like I've heard this song before, and I'm fairly certain I have. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's like one of the closing songs, or the closing song from Napoleon Dynamite. I think I may have heard it in something else over the years too. It's just one of those like quintessential 80s songs that got played quite often, but it's really, really good, really solid 80s track. I'll have to check it out after this, make sure I'm right, but I feel like that's the case. It's been years since I've seen that movie, but the melody sounds very familiar.
With no cry to bear. I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking of the right words to say. I know they don't
Absolutely fantastic chorus. And I love how they built it. I mean, the first chorus was fairly stripped down, and then this second chorus, they really went for it. Like, you got the drums kicking up, solid drum beat, solid synth melody, like, carrying the whole thing. There's an entire ensemble going on now, and it's all incredible, especially with, again, Mitch and Scott in the forefront. Mitch carrying the melodies once again, but we also had many moments of, like, syncopated vocals where you'd have Mitch, or sometimes Mitch and Scott together doing, like, the forefront, and then one of them would kind of do a backup line just kind of to echo behind their main line, and it worked really, really well. I mentioned it before too, like some parts there was a bit of a auto-tune or some kind of like 80s synth modulator over top of the vocals, which just added even more to that kind of 80s feel. Like, this is, like, again, quintessential 80s. It seems like these guys are huge fans of the 80s from everything I've seen them. Even Mitch's, like, earrings and, like, the entire outfits are fantastic. And the mullet, too, like, very 80s. And it fits really, really well. Damn.
Just thinking alright words to say.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. I want to get that bit again. Just that transition into that chorus, just, oh my goodness. And even the framing and everything that's going on here, like Adam just skating around them and kind of like dancing away the emotions that this song is kind of trying to convey. It seems like it's like interpretive dance, but in figure skating style. Like, it's really, really cool to see. Like, and it's just a perfect kind of marriage of the two different things because it fits really well for the 80s vibe too. Like, it's really, really cool. They always have such an interesting and well put style, even in Pentatonix, and you can definitely see it here.
I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking alright words to say.
I've seen music videos from like full on like huge artists that aren't as appealing and interesting as this is. And they're just like in a skating rink and filming it with like neon colored lights and things like that. Like, it's just a perfect feel for this kind of video and this kind of song. It's just so cool, and they absolutely captured the feel of the original song as well. I mean, I'll have to go back and re-listen to it because it has been a minute, but I do remember hearing it a few times because I've watched Napoleon Dynamite at least a couple times. Again, I feel like I've heard it elsewhere as well. It's just a really, really solid song, and these guys absolutely did it justice. Like, they did such a great job with this. This is the type of song that if someone did like a remix of it, like, it could be really well mixed into like a crazy drum and bass or rhythms, like some kind of electronic song. Like, it's already kind of synth pop, and synth pop lends itself really well to that. It would just be really, I would not be surprised at all if there's some kind of remixes out there of the song. Like, they just did an incredible job. Like, again, Mitch's vocals and like with Scott's behind, like, they're always amazing. And this is one of those examples where they can do just about anything, especially anything 80s, because they just definitely have the vibe for it, the voice for it, the style for it. Yeah, I figured that would be the end. Alright, nothing extra, but that was still really cool. I mean, again, so stylish, so much, like, energy, both from each individual singer and also Adam just dancing along, again, interpretive dance for the emotions of the song, it felt like to me. Like, it had so much style, it had so much, like, character to it, and that's something you can always say about these guys from Pentatonix, like, and Superfruit, of course, is that they definitely have a lot of talent, a lot of ability to, like, push themselves in the content that they make, right? Like, really kind of show off who they are with what they do, and it's so awesome to see. I mean, they're both incredibly talented on their own, of course, but when they work together, this song, almost the entire thing was harmonies between the two of them, except for individual notes kind of behind, as like one of them, again, the syncopated vocals where you'd have one singing and then the other one singing behind, especially in like the last two choruses. We got a lot of that where it was just like, again, syncopated voices constantly, and the harmonies would just work perfectly, especially with the addition of all the different kind of elements behind it. Like, we had the heavier drums, we had the heavier synth melodies, multiple synth melodies going on as the chorus was going, and their beautiful vocalizations, their beautiful harmonies between the two of them. Like, it was excellent. And again, Adam just added that extra little bit of kind of like class, I guess, to this whole affair that just upped the ante a little bit even more. Like, it was really cool to see. This entire thing was awesome. But anyways, thanks for hanging out and watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Until next time, later days, folks.